We adopted a dog about 18 months ago, an ex-racing greyhound. Now, she looks nothing like Charlie Munger, but does a pretty good blue steel. There is a similarity though with one of the world's greatest investors, and that is owning a dog requires similar characteristics and behaviours as being a successful wealth builder does. But let's get into it, as it looks like I've already bored the bejesus out of our hound. Please note, anything I talk about in this video is general information only. I'm not a licensed financial planner. Please do not rely on your pets to pick your investments, and please take the time to read my full disclaimer in the video description. Thinking long-term is definitely a trait required as a dog owner and when building wealth. Owning a dog is for the long term. Depending on what age your hound is when you take it home for the first time, you can be locking in around 10 to 15 years on average of being responsible for their well-being. Building wealth is the same, as done properly, it will take decades to achieve. Owning a dog comes with additional and important responsibility. Your hound depends on you for their well-being. Similarly, taking yours and your family's hard-earned money and trying to grow it comes with huge responsibility of not permanently losing that money through bad decision-making. And just like the additional responsibility of owning your hound will give you less flexibility around your lifestyle, at least in the early days, growing your wealth may well come with less lifestyle flexibility as you attempt to save money to invest. The payback, though, is immeasurable. Once compounding takes effect, the joy of taking bigger and bigger strides closer to financial independence cannot be overstated. All the hard work in the early days of moulding your finances into a compounding juggernaut will be worth it, just as the hard work of raising your puppy into a well-behaved, loving companion is worth it as well. And if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like, and if you would like similar content, please subscribe to the channel. Our second behaviour or characteristic is that of discipline. No matter how much we love our hounds, they do need discipline. Without it, chaos always ensues. Bad behaviour and sleepless nights become the norm, and you find yourself questioning why you got the dog in the first place and whether you are up to owning a pet. With investing and building wealth, discipline in your process by knowing your goals and risk tolerance will provide you a good night's sleep. Trusting the decisions you make with your hound and your investing validates your choice to own and your investment decisions respectively. With investing, discipline is enforced through having an investment plan. This creates the boundaries required to keep your emotions in check, allowing you to make rational decisions. Likewise, your relationship with your pet can only be stronger by erecting boundaries that influence your decisions, controlling your dog's behaviour. Being disciplined in everything we do regarding our personal finances allows us to sleep at night and ultimately provides us a sense of security. Just like happiness for both you and your pet is the outcome with the correct discipline within your relationship. Patience and consistency is our third behaviour/characteristic that is similar in owning a pet and investing or building wealth. Owning a hound, particularly if they are a puppy, have been mistreated, or like a greyhound, have not had a normal pet upbringing, takes patience. They will misbehave. They will not do what you ask of them. However, spend enough time on them and being consistent in your training and methods eventually will see you succeed in having a pet rather than just a dog. And the two best behaviours I think we can have as wealth builders is patience and consistency. These behaviours really tie in with our mindset of thinking long term. Without this mindset, without patience and without consistency, you will not achieve investing success. In fact, you will almost certainly become an abject failure with very little to show for anything you have done. So yes, your investments will misbehave from time to time. Indeed, they will even do the opposite sometimes of what you originally asked of them. They probably won't pee on your floor though. But cut through this short-term noise, employ some patience, and be consistent with your investment plan, and you will almost certainly end up wealthier than you otherwise would have been. Our fourth behaviour or characteristic is that of trust. It's taken probably around 14 months for our greyhound to attain a good level of trust in her humans, that is, us. These days, the trust she shows in us is very obvious. She'll let us give her a cuddle while she's in her bed and also give us signs of elevated trust by rolling over and exposing her belly for a scratch, which apparently is a very trustful thing to do for a dog. And just as we trust our pawsome furry friend and she trusts us, we also trust our investment plan to help us achieve our wealth goal. Our investment plan is simply when we invest, where we invest, and how much we invest. We would only deviate from our investment plan if circumstances changed so much permanently that we would be literally forced to. This would be extremely rare in my opinion, however not without zero probability. And the payback as a pet owner is a more relaxed you and your hound, and as an investor, you'll make greater rational decisions, not based on emotions. Our penultimate similar behaviour/characteristic between pet owners and investors/wealth builders is that of risk management. Just like being a human, our hounds sometimes require some TLC due to muscle and bone issues, infections and diseases. Some of these can be very serious. And when owning a pet, a major decision these days is whether to take out pet insurance. Pet insurance essentially limits your downside risk should anything, God forbid, go wrong with your furry companion. Risk management is a huge component of building wealth through investing. Risk to me is permanent loss of my capital. Once it's gone, it's gone. Therefore, we need to manage the risk we take to avoid such a scenario. One way to do this is through appropriate diversification. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across and within different non-correlated asset classes. Appropriate risk management then as a pet owner should provide you with peace of mind of not having to dip into your emergency fund or savings when your puppy needs to go to the vet. And for an investor, risk management should allow you to ride through market corrections and crashes without having to sell your investments. Okay, so whilst not a behaviour or mindset, I thought I would throw this one in there as there are similarities with owning a hound, and that is checkups. We take our greyhound for annual checkups with the vet. She gets a good going over and gets her vaccinations. We do this to try and preempt anything major impacting the health of our much loved hound. Of course, you can't preempt everything, but we do as much as we can. Investing and indeed personal finances should also be exposed to at least an annual checkup, but preferably more regular. Checking your investments and personal finances allows you to preempt potential issues down the track. For example, if your asset allocations are out of whack, this could mean you suffer more than you should when the next market downturn comes along. And the best thing is, just like a 1-hour vet visit for the hound, investment and personal finance checkups don't take long either. So a small amount of time spent to have a healthier and happier hound and also healthier personal finances. And that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you soon.